Have you ever snapped at someone and immediately regretted it? Or maybe you've given the silent treatment, knowing fully well you're boiling inside. We've all been there. Those moments when life shakes us, and what spills out isn't exactly our best self. But have you ever stopped to wonder why you reacted that way? What if I told you that your reaction has less to do with what happened and more to do with what's already inside you? In today's episode of the In My Voice podcast, we're diving into emotions, why we explode, shut down, or say things we don't mean when life bumps into us. And more importantly, how we can start filling our cups with something better. Stay with me. It's about to get deep and maybe a little too real.
Have you ever wanted to read a letter that was meant for someone else? Have you ever wanted to travel the world but didn't have the time or the money? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to In My Voice, the podcast where we read letters and share travel stories about places by our guests. I am your host Bonaheri, and each week I'll guide you through these two different yet fascinating worlds. In the first segment, we'll read letters written to listeners like you about a variety of subjects, from heartwarming stories to heartbreaking experiences. These letters offer a unique perspective on the human experience. Some of them will make you laugh, while the others will bring a tear to your eye. But they all have one thing in common. They are written from the heart. In the second segment, we will embark on a journey to explore the world through travel stories. We'll visit exotic destinations, meet interesting people, and experience the joys and challenges of traveling. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or someone who's always dreamed of seeing the world, you will find something to inspire you in these stories. So, join me every week as we dive into these two fascinating worlds. In My Voice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode.
Welcome back to the In My Voice podcast. I am your host Bonaheri, and today we are tackling a truth we often overlook. When life shakes us, what spills out is what was already inside. Think about it. Ever lost your cool over something small, only to realize later it wasn't really about that moment? That's exactly what we are going to unpack today. So grab your coffee or whatever you like and get comfortable so that we can dive in. I want you to picture this. You're walking through a crowded cafe, holding a steaming cup of coffee. Suddenly, someone bumps into you. Coffee goes flying everywhere. Total disaster, right? Now, here's the question. Why did you spill your coffee? Most of you are probably thinking, well, duh, because someone bumped into me. But let me blow your mind. No, that's not the reason. You spilled coffee because that's what was inside your cup. If it had been tea, you would have spilled tea. If it had been vodka, you'd be explaining yourself to HR right now. The point is, whatever is inside the cup is what comes out when life shakes you. And let's be real, life loves to shake us. Before we dive in, I asked some of you to share your worst anger reactions. And let me tell you, the answers did not disappoint. Some of you said, you go completely silent, like ice cold treatment. Others admitted to snapping, yelling, or even throwing an insult. And well, someone out there has actually delivered a slap. No judgment. But it got me thinking, why do we react the way we do when life shakes us? For me, what spills depends on my day. If I haven't had my coffee yet, you might get a very unfiltered version of me. Snacky, sarcastic, and slightly terrifying. But if I've had my morning workout, a peanut smoothie, and some good music. Oh, I am practically Gandhi. It's like I've got 2 cups, and life loves to shake the worst one. So here's the deal. Whatever is inside you, whether it's bitterness, joy, or that weird mix of both, comes out when life bumps into you. And let's face it, life will bump into you. Nobody's walking through life unshaken. The trick is, how do we fill our cups with the good stuff? Gratitude, forgiveness, peace, The things we all aspire to spill but rarely do when push comes to shove. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where someone else handled it so much better than you would have? Like, you're stuck in traffic, fuming, you're late and exhausted, and you look over at the car next to you, and the driver is just singing, belting out a power ballad like they are in their own personal music video. And you're like, how are they so calm right now? What's in their cup? Joy, acceptance, or just a really good playlist? That's the goal, right? To be the person singing in traffic, spilling joy instead of frustration. But how do we get there? Let me tell you about my experience. Life shook me at some point, and I didn't exactly spill confetti. Last year, I had a fallout with a friend I really cared about. We had this big argument, and it left me feeling hurt, frustrated, and just raw. Later that evening, I went to play football to blow off some steam. You know how it is. Fouls happen. It's part of the game. But this time, it was different. I got fouled hard. And when I got up, something in me just snapped. I won't go into the details, but let's just say that what came out of me wasn't exactly my finest moment. And afterward, I stood there, catching my breath, thinking, why did I react like that? What's in my cup? Because here's the thing. That argument with my friend had filled my cup with hurt and anger. And when life shook me, in this case, with a rough foul, that's what spilled out. It wasn't about the foul. It was about what was already inside me. And that's the key takeaway. When life shakes us, our reactions aren't just about the moment. We are spilling what we have been carrying a long way. That's why it's so important to check in with ourselves and be intentional about what we fill our cups with every day. If we are constantly holding on to stress, resentment, or negativity, that's what will come out when we get bumped. But if we are filling ourselves with patience, understanding, and self-awareness, then even in tough moments, we can respond in a way we are proud of. And there is actual science to back this up. The cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, explains that our emotions and behaviors aren't just random reactions to what happens around us. Instead, they are shaped by the thoughts and beliefs we hold inside. Greek philosopher Epictetus put it perfectly. He says, people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Think about it. Two people can face the same exact situation but react completely different. One person gets cut off in traffic and immediately explodes with rage. Another just shrugs off and keeps vibing to their playlist. The difference? It's not about the event itself. It's about what's already inside them. I'm sure you've seen people in traffic howling insults at fellow drivers on the road. It really doesn't matter whether the other person is wrong or right, but what is inside your cup. So, the real work isn't about avoiding life's bumps, because let's be real, that's impossible. The work is in training our minds to fill our cups with better, healthier thoughts. That way, when life shakes us, we are spilling patience, understanding, and confidence, not anger, resentment, or stress. Here's my challenge to you this week. Pay attention to what's in your cup. When life shakes you, and it will, notice what spills out. And if it's not what you want it to be, start filling your cup with better stuff. So, let's do a quick check-in. Think about the last time life bumped into you. Maybe you got a rejection email, or your supervisor dropped a last-minute assignment on your desk when you had already made plans. What spilled out? Be honest. Did you stay cool, or did you unleash your inner dragon? No shame here. We've all been there. We listen, we don't judge. Now, let's talk about how to stock our cup with the good stuff. For me, it starts with morning gratitude. Before I even check my phone, I pray and thank God for another day. It sounds cheesy, right? But it works. Also, surround yourself with good vibes. Hang out with people who lift you up and inspire you to be better. And hey, it's okay to treat yourself. Sometimes joy comes in the form of those spicy sticky wings from Cafe Javas. So treat yourself. Do whatever makes you happy. Go to the gym. Go for a massage. Go for a spa day. Treat yourself. At the end of the day, life provides the cup. But you, my friend, you choose how to fill it. So, let's make it a priority to fill our cups with the good stuff. Joy, resilience, and kindness. Because when life bumps into you, and it will, you want to spill the good stuff. The kind of stuff that makes the world better, not worse. And remember, if your cup happens to spill coffee, make sure it's not one of those overpriced ones from a bougie cafe. That's just a heartbreaking liquid form. Catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the In My Voice podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend. Leave us a review or just drop us a message on social media. Let's keep the conversations going. Until next time, keep filling your cup with the good stuff. I am Bona Harry, and this is In My Voice.